Today, our trainer is Michael Huggins. This is an individual that we all know and love, look up to immensely. I remember the first time I saw him, and I was just blown away by the things that he had done in his life. I'd been told about him, right, about that he had gone from having all this student loan debt and working two full-time jobs repairing vehicles, and he was good at it, but he just wasn't making any money at it. And he embraced the opportunity to change his lifestyle, to change himself personally, and to make himself better. And he did that. And right from the very beginning, he brought others along with him. He wasn't content on just making it good for himself. And he continues just encouraging everyone around him to be better, to be their better self, to develop better habits, to become more educated by reading or listening to books. He is very generous with the opportunities that he's provided to our team with our Audible account and everything else. Today he's with us to help us again. And Michael, how are you this morning? Michael, we can't hear you yet, but I see you're there.
Oh, good.
Hey, there you are.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. Welcome, everyone. Hi, Ron. Everyone else out there in internet land, welcome to Wealth Wednesday. And I say good morning, but really, for me, it's good afternoon. I'm about to have some afternoon tea and some biscuits, some crumpets. I'm in Wales right now. I'm in the top of a castle. And I bring that up because I want to remind all of you that no matter what kind of business you're in, no matter where you are in this world, because of the business you're in, you can handle it. You can run it. You can do it from wherever you want. So keep an open mind. That's part of today's lesson. We're going to talk about open mindset. We're also going to talk about some of the comp plan and a little bit more on compliance. Not too much, though, because we are already the most compliant team out there. So congratulations on that, by the way. Good job. Good job. Okay. So one thing about having to adapt and be on the road is sometimes, you'll learn this, the internet isn't always screen share friendly. So I'm going to switch one thing because I do want to draw for you. Time to adapt and overcome. That's the name of the game. Adapt and overcome. It's actually a very common, I think it's the Marines say that. Adapt and overcome. Adopt and overcome. So that's what we're going to do here. And you got to have that mindset from get-go. Adapt and overcome. Okay, so let me switch one thing and we'll do a screen share.
Okay, just so you know, the phones are coming strong and clear.
Cool. Still coming in clear. Copy, 1, 2, 1, 2. Maybe now.
Phones are great.
Okay. You're great, Pete. All right, it's working. Wonderful. Okay, so this mindset of adapt and overcome. It's an attitude that serves us well, especially when we're traveling, because not many things go exactly how you planned it. So it's this attitude, and you got to have it with your guests also, and I'll tell you how that fits in. We have this attitude of no problem. No problem. Not at all. Not a problem. No problem. So we get delayed, we get denied, something changes, something breaks, whatever. This attitude of no problem. when we were traveling, we wanted to go to a very unique destination, and Vanessa put together a surprise for me, so she had to keep it a secret this whole time. And then right when we got to the airport, they said, "Nope, you don't get to go." We're all packed, we're ready. I still don't even know where we're going. I just know it's supposed to be somewhere warm. And so we show up to the airport, we're ready to go, and then they say, "No, you may not pass. You shall not pass." And I was like, "What? Come on, man, let me go." But because we have this attitude of no problem, we just thought, well, instead of that, where can we go? So we went to the UK, spent some time in London, and now we just traveled through. We stopped at Stonehenge, and now we're in Wales. Castle tour. But because of this attitude of no problem, we just turned it into another opportunity. Now, of course, this is a unique thing. Oh, you're traveling and something changes. Sure, no problem, no problem, no problem. But I'm talking about this no problem attitude everywhere. No problem. No problem. This attitude, when you bring it into your business, into your relationships, even at your job, everywhere, no problem. So now think about when we're at the office or we're at our meeting space, we're getting ready for the meetings, and someone asks you to go greet guests, no problem. Or go write name tags, no problem. Or will you introduce, or will you take out the trash? No problem. And this attitude of no problem everywhere we go. And we have that same attitude when it comes to our sales. Okay, it especially comes in when we're setting appointments, right? We have a one-on-one appointment with a guest, and they change the time, or they shorten the time. Again, it's this attitude of no problem. It's so attractive. This attitude is so attractive that some people will enroll just because they see how you handle situations, right? So imagine you're at your appointment and you go to order the steak, and they're like, "We're out of steaks." If you freaked out and you're like, "What? How does a place like this have no steaks?" Blah 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 blah, and you freak out, that is not attractive. That's going to repel. It's going to push people away. If you can develop this attitude of receiving news that goes against your preferences, and you have this attitude of no problem, it's so attractive that people will overlook the other stuff, the other funny things, like maybe you had a booger hanging out of your nose or something. This attitude is so attractive that it'll help you overcome the booger challenge. Right? That's hard to overcome. I mean, that's not attractive at all. Got some boogers hanging out of your nose, right? One nostril you're just completely unaware of. No problem. Okay, this attitude, I'm telling you. I got a speeding ticket a couple months ago. Got pulled over. Because I had such a good attitude, the cop apologized for giving me the ticket. But I was like, "Yeah, no problem. I get it. You're doing your job. No problem." It's very, very attractive, and this is what we want to bring to the game. Okay, this attitude of adapt and overcome. Okay, so it happens in our marketing too. I remember we were supposed to have some flyers made from the printer. We were going to go. We had a bunch of people ready to go start flyering neighborhoods, coordinating schedules, getting everything ready, and they didn't have the papers. They didn't have the flyers. So again, we just have this attitude of, all right, no problem. What are we going to do while we're here? And we just did a call party instead. We did an impromptu, on-the-spot call party, adapt and overcome. And so we were still productive with our time. If we had just been like, "Oh, man, it's not going to work," we had to adapt and overcome at Toastmasters. I don't know if you guys are going to Toastmasters still. I hope you are. But even at Toastmasters, the person who had the key to let us in the building didn't show up. So guess what? We did Toastmasters in the parking lot. Right? Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster and honored guests. Welcome to the parking lot. We had this attitude of adapt and overcome. So we were still able to get the practice in, get the speeches, get the check marks off the list. So hopefully you make this a new habit. 2018 is the year where you just, no problem, bring that creative energy, bring that winning energy to it. No problema, only solutions. Solution oriented. Okay. So speaking of solutions, let's talk about what solutions I can provide for you. What solutions are we talking about? What are the challenges we're running into? And we're going to give it inside the context. So when we're asking the questions, we're asking using the context of our funnel. But I want you guys to think of some questions. You can come off mute. We can talk about the solutions. Remember, this is our funnel. Find the people, tell the story, build for events, and follow up.
Tell the story. Should I tell my story or what?
Okay, after we follow up, ask for the order and have an order entry party. Okay, so this is where all the leads are going, all the names, phone numbers, email addresses. We're going in this funnel. This is our money funnel. Okay, so solutions. Let's create some solutions. All right. Participant list. Jose, what's up? Jose Andres, you're off mute. I guess you have a question. He was just kidding. Cody, you got a question?
No, am I off mute?
You're off mute too. Welcome to the call.
Oh, nice.
Hey, did you make $10,000 last month?
No, but I'm going to this month.
Okay. So what solutions did you create this month from last month's results so that you are now getting paid 10 grand?
So I actually took some of your advice and I started contacting the warm market. And, that's a market I didn't want to touch because I felt like, this isn't really for me. I don't really think these guys will go anywhere anyways. But based off of your advice, I actually decided, okay, I got to do this because it actually just makes sense. And I started contacting everybody and have actually had some positive results so far.
Cool. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
How long have you been attending these morning calls?
About a month.
About a month. Right on. Ladies and gentlemen, about a month is all it takes to make 10 grand. If you're having a rough time with your finances, spend about a month. Do what Cody says. Follow this advice. Start getting some orders. Start getting those interested folks. Cool. So any lessons you want to share with your experience on that, Cody, as these new people are going to go do that today and this week?
Don't be afraid, because I was. I mean, I didn't want to reach out to these people that I've known forever, and a lot of them are probably not the best of people. Some of them are really great people, but a lot of them, it's like, well, I just want to stay away from these people. You never know where they're at. You just don't know. It never hurts to reach out to them.
That's all it is. It's a simple reach. That's well said, Cody. Hopefully you guys pay attention to that. You never know. Don't judge. You never know. Cool. Well, thanks for accidentally coming off mute and sharing your your story. If you got any other questions, jump back in here.
All right. Thank you.
You bet. All right. So if you're on the phone, you're not using the app, you can, I believe, just hit *6 and unmute yourself. Also, if you're on the phone and you haven't considered it, we do have the app version, so you can see what I'm drawing. You can see what notes we're taking. The app is called Zoom. Zoom. Okay. What's up? Who do we got? We got a question. ¿Tienes preguntas? ¿Tiene pregunta? Tienen. Plural. Come on, guys. If you didn't make 10 grand last month, you have to ask a question. Even if
Hi,
you did
Michael.
make 10 grand, you can still ask a question. But I'm just saying, you can't be this quiet. You can't have all these people. If all of you guys are hitting those results, you'd be running the call, and I'd be sitting back taking notes, asking questions.
Here's a question. Am I unmuted?
You are. Go ahead. What's up?
Hi, Michael. So with the whole warm market, I still haven't attacked my warm market. I just don't know how to approach them. Do I say, hey, I have a little small presentation I want to talk to you about, or like, how do you reach out to them? I guess that's what I'm afraid of.
Okay. Well, there's an easy format for that. How long have you been a part of the program?
Over a year.
Over a year. Okay. So, well, first of all, we're going to take Cody's advice and we're going to act with courage, because right now you haven't been, and that's not helping anybody. So even if you don't have any courage, you're going to have to fake it till you make it. One of the best formats that I've seen people be successful with is this phrase they start out with: I just learned. Now this I just learned, you can use regardless of if you've been in for a week or a year or 5 years. You can still have just learned something, and now you can share it. Well, I mean, if you're watching your classes, hopefully you're still doing that. So
Yeah.
If you haven't been watching your classes, go put it on for an hour, write down 5 things you learn over that hour, and then we're going to call some friends. I just learned, and then you're going to state what you just learned. And then based off of their reaction, you're either going to just, I thought I'd just share with you, thought I'd just share, or an invite. We want to go for the invite. Now, the premise is just sharing. I'm just here to share it. Just learn this, and I don't know if it applies to you, but I thought it was cool, so I'm just sharing. Okay, you're also sharing. I don't know if you know this, but sharing is caring, my friend. Sharing is caring. You're also sharing that you have a business. Okay, sometimes the biggest mistake our new team members are making is they haven't told their friends that they have a business, right? So think about the IMAs sitting there going, oh man, my business isn't growing. I've been doing this for weeks or months or years and my business isn't growing. And we have to ask ourselves, well, how many people have you told that you have a business? Right? It's not going to grow if you don't tell people. You got to tell people. So when you're calling to share that you have a business, I don't know if you know this, but I changed. I quit thinking the old ways. So yeah, I know I still work at Jiffy Lube. Yeah, I still work at Sears, but not for long. I'm in real estate now, and I will be transitioning into real estate. So when next time you think about houses, I want you to be thinking about me. Okay? So you have to call them to let them know that you're a real estate investor. Call them to let them know you are looking for houses to buy. Okay? Christian Sadler could actually answer this question better than me, but he put together 5 key points. So I hope you write this down, but there's 5 key points we're going to contact them about. The first one is, do you know any buyers looking for property? Because I'm connected to a network of real estate investors that have property. Next, You know any sellers? I am currently looking for some property to invest in because that's how I make my money. It's my new business. I'm looking for money. I'm looking for people to invest that are interested in saving a ton of taxes. So if you know anyone that's interested in saving taxes, I'd be happy to contact them. So buyers, sellers, money. You know who else I might be interested, or who else helps with my business is partners. People who are already doing real estate, people who are professionals in the industry, title companies, agents. So if you know anyone like that, that you think I would jive well with, you know me. So if you think they would go well with me, give them my number. Give me their number. The person I'm looking for is people who want to learn real estate, people who want to learn these strategies, these ideas, right? Remember I just told you I just learned? So I'm also looking for people who want to continue down that learning path, okay? One of the major keys is your reputation. What are you known for? So my old reputation, I was known as the mechanic. I had to get rid of that. I had to drop it. So when people were like, "Hey, can you help me with my transmission?" I said the answer is technically yes, I can. Will I? No. I'll help you with your real estate. I'll Google an auto shop for you and give you their phone number, but I don't do auto shop anymore. My new reputation is real estate investor, sales, marketer, author, leader, speaker, traveler, race car driver. All right. So part of it is, I think your hesitancy is you haven't decided what you want to be known for. What do you want your reputation to be? What do you want to be known for? Right now, these 5 things, these are big. If you just want to focus on one, that's fine, or 2. But if you put all 5 out there, then other people can help you grow your business. Your warm market is interested in you, interested in your success. And so if you just tell them that you have a business, they can actually help you. They can send you referrals. They can give you ideas. And then next time you call them, you can be talking about that. My business is this, my business is that. How are you doing? Right, at some point, you got to tell them you have a business. So this is the new reason for the call. I'm calling to let you know I'm in real estate. I work in these areas. I'm getting into commercial or whatever. Okay, share, invite you to take a look, invite you to take down my website. I invite you to pass on my number to someone you know. So with that being said, what ideas are coming up, or what clarity can we provide on this?
I just was writing down everything you said, so thank you. Right now, I need to figure out what I want to be known for, I guess, would be my starting point, and then after that, start hitting my warm market up.
Yeah. What comes to mind right now as far as what you want to be known for?
I don't know. It's pretty hard. So far, I'm just known as a super enthusiastic person. That's about it. And healthy, I guess, but that has nothing to do with real estate.
Okay, so how can we tie in health to wealth? Is there a bridge? Is there a link? Is there a metaphor or an analogy or a euphemism, something we can link our health to our wealth? So when you can say, hey, you know me, you know how much I'm passionate about my health and keeping things in tip-top shape. Well, I realized I wasn't financially fit, right? My body's great. My mindset's great. My attitude is great. My relationships are great. But I wasn't being healthy with my finances. And so I decided I'm going to take this new approach. I started a program, right? Instead of hitting the gym, I hit the books. And man, I just learned.
That's good. Thanks.
Yeah. Now, if you can name something that you learned at the meeting that is in your area, then it's an even easier transition to the invite, because then you can say, why don't you come with me, right? Like, I just learned about tax savings. I'm going to go to this workshop next week. It's free. Why don't you tag along? I just learned velocity banking. I'm going to a workshop next week. It's free. Why don't you tag along? Right. As far as like the labels, like velocity banking is a very, industry specific type of label. So I wouldn't say velocity banking in my invite. I would say I just learned how to pay off my debt. I learned how to accelerate my mortgage or my car loan, or helped my grandma with her mortgage. I just learned how to save my grandma $100,000 in interest. Now that's something real. That's me. I tell my friends that. So maybe you go to grandma with some velocity banking so you can have a quick result to share with people. But if you can find a link between health and wealth, it's going to be way easier for you to have those conversations with your friends, because they'll have health oriented minds. They have health oriented language. So if you can find a bridge, it'd be easy. That's kind of what I did with cars and real estate. I thought about, like, okay, when the person is having an issue with their house, it's like their car's not starting, right? So let's do a diagnosis, right? Do we have power? Who's on the note? Who's on the loan? Who's on the note? Do we have ground, right? Who's the lender? What's the title policy look like? So I just started piecing it together, how it worked in my world with finances. So then when I went back and talked to my old Jiffy Lube buddies, and I'm like, yeah, man, this stuff is easy. This stuff is easy. We already know this stuff. We do it with cars. Now we just need to do it with houses. And so I've got 3 old coworkers who are now full-time investors and using the system. They have their education. They're making sales on the marketing side too. But because I went back there and I could speak their language, here's what I want to be known for. I want to be known as a guy that fixes house problems, not car problems. Bring me your house problems. I'll fix them. Does that help?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, you betcha. Thanks for coming out on the call. What was your name?
Ricardo?
Ricardo. You're in Scottsdale, Phoenix area?
Yes.
All right, cool. I will see you in a couple weeks.
Oh, great.
I have a question.
Okay, what's up?
So there's like 2 years of marketing people in my funnel. Lots of old warm market leads that I consistently, they've been around to meetings. They know about the education and the value, and they're like feet draggers. How would I approach them to, I know I've been sending the message that we have 6 weeks before the price increases. So I've been leveraging that. But yeah, I'm kind of, other than that approach, I don't really have an approach. I haven't had an approach for all these people that haven't told me to leave them alone. Right. And they've expressed some type of interest, but they just don't. They're not real responsive to my follow-ups, or they're just kind of avoiding taking the next step. How would I do it now?
So you've been in for 2 years. They've been avoiding taking steps. Have you considered getting mad at them?
A couple of them I have done that, and now I don't talk to them.
Oh man. Well, there's a way to get mad at them and they still like you.
Right. Well, I think they still like me, but it's kind of awkward right now because
Until I can get
I'm pushing them. You know, I don't think they like to be pushed. I know they appreciate it though. I have a really confusing warm market. They appreciate me pushing them and being, you know, a stand for them, but also they kind of don't take action.
Ah, I know what you can do with them. Find contradictions. People cannot stand having an exposed contradiction. I hope I spelled that right. Find a contradiction. Right? So it's like if you told me that you wanted to be healthy and every day you smoked a cigarette in front of me, and I was like, what the hell are you doing? And every day I was like, that's a contradiction. You want to be healthy and you're smoking. And every time they were smoking, I just brought up how it was a contradiction. Yes, I'm the annoying friend, but I'm also the friend who has helped like 20 people stop smoking cigarettes. Right? It's the same thing when my friends tell me they want to be healthy, but they're drinking diet soda at every meal. So every meal, diet soda, contradiction. So it's easy to find health behavior contradictions, but what about wealth behavior contradictions? You know what I mean when I say that? Like what behaviors that are going to generate wealth are people creating these contradictions so they're not getting any result? If you can help them fix a contradiction, now we got a result. Now you got a new platform to start inviting more people. But what wealth behaviors can you identify that you can speak to them and say, look, man, if you were telling me that you're going to vacation in Mexico and you're headed north, I'd be like, well, what the hell are you talking about? So if you're telling me that you want to save for retirement or you want to provide security for your spouse or pay for this for your kids and you're headed in this direction, again, what are you talking about? Right? What direction are we headed in? What behaviors did you change in yourself? See, a lot of the times I got to be talking about me instead of you so that the person doesn't feel that I'm attacking them or that I'm actually talking about it. I am talking about them, but only through my eyes. I can only ever talk about through my eyes. So through my eyes, when I'm looking at my friends and they're hurting for money, their family relationships are strained because they don't have enough time with each other, right? The TV's teaching the kids more. When I see that stuff and I want to say something about it, I say it from this place of I'm not just pointing out the mess. I have a solution also, right? Like when I talk to people about cigarettes, and maybe some of you on the line are struggling with smoking, I don't just bring up the health thing and say, well, look, every cigarette is a nail in your coffin or every cigarette this or that. I don't do that shit. What I say is, look, here's what happened for me. When I was smoking and I kept identifying as a non-smoker, then I'd pick up smoking again and I tried to quit like 5 times. So when I tell them this, I'm not leaving them in the mess. I'm not just saying, well, quit smoking, it's bad for you. Or quit smoking, oh, you're poor, you're struggling to pay your bills. Well, shit, you could smoke a pack a day, right? Like sometimes our friends need that, but most of the time that doesn't help them quit. So here's what I did is I got to get creative with this new challenge, quitting this health destructive behavior. And then all you're going to do is take this idea and find a wealth destructive behavior and find those contradictions and help them. So when I kept saying to myself, I want to be a non-smoker, 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 I just kept saying smoker, right? Just because I put a non in front of it, my brain, my mouth, my thoughts were still on the word smoke. So what is the point of being a quitter? What is the point? It's to be able to breathe easy, right? be able to breathe easy. So instead of becoming a non-smoker, which is uninspiring, and I still keep saying the word smoke, right? Non-smoker, I don't want to do that. So instead, what I transitioned into was an easy breather. Why do I want to quit smoking anyways? For the fact of easy breathing. So instead of calling myself a non-smoker, I'm now an easy breather. So the reason I'm telling you this now is because when I talk to my friend that is smoking, I don't just point out all the negatives of smoking. I don't just point out all the benefits of quitting that behavior. I give them a tool. I give them a concept, an idea that says, look, you intellectually know it costs money, and you intellectually know that it's harming your health, but you don't have a tool to change it, or else you would. So have you tried identifying as an easy breather? Right? You say it. You say you want to quit. You want to quit while you're lighting a frickin' cigarette. So it's not that our friends need lectures. They do need passion. So when I said get mad, what I really was indicating was, have you brought a level of intensity and passion to your language? And sometimes people think that means mad. But that level of intensity and passion around creating a solution for them, right? My friend, I want you to quit smoking cigarettes. I don't even want you to think about it. I want you to be around for 100 years with me so we can keep hanging out and having fun and traveling the world and having it be easy. So think about breathing easy. And then when people say, hey, do you want a cigarette? You say, nope, I'm an easy breather. And now my friends are like, holy crap, I never even thought about it that way. Right? Now I don't have to deny. You don't have to say, no, I'm a non-smoker. Because think about if you had never smoked, and someone offered you a cigarette, you wouldn't say, no, I'm a non-smoker. You wouldn't say that. So if you're trying to get out of smoking, just go back to how you were before. You were an easy breather. You didn't struggle to breathe. It was an easy breathe. So what can we do? What behaviors are we seeing? And how can we give them a tool to help them transition? Right? Like, I know one thing that you did, Mike, was you started giving your friends some books on wealth creation, on life insurance and self-directing and a couple other things. And so you were getting some traction with that. And that was a behavior that your friend had recognized, like, oh, I'm saving money, but in a weak way. I need to be doing it in a powerful way. So, okay, life insurance. But what other behaviors are your friends doing, your warm market, that we can create a new transition? Because it's not like we're not going to be the non-poor people or the non-broke, right? We're going to be wealthy and powerful and influential and sophisticated. So what comes to mind when we're talking about this?
Cognitive dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance.
Because I feel like I've done, like you're saying, you've seen me give some friends books and resources, but it almost feels like they're still relying on me as like I'm the teacher, and I've been trying to frame it as, I'm learning too. I'm a student as well.
Okay,
You have
well,
to
maybe
come
that's not working.
get the benefits that I have, that I'm getting.
Right. Yeah, maybe we need to switch that mindset. If they're looking at you as the teacher, but you keep saying I'm the student, then they don't want to follow.
Right. Well, no, I'm not saying that I tell them that. That's just in my own head.
Oh, gotcha.
But it is a little pressure, I'm trying maybe figure out a way to frame it a different way where they don't just think that they have to just come ask me a question when they need to do something. Like I have all the answers. So that's part of my confusion with my warm market, because everyone looks up to me. I'm sure a majority of my warm market looks up to me as he's on to something, but they still are not following my lead necessarily.
Okay, so have you talked to your warm market about the 5 people you spend the most time with? The average of 5?
Maybe not as much as I could.
Because that's one thing, that one language tool that I used a lot with my friends was, look, hey, I just learned I'm the average of the 5 people I spend the most time with, right? I love hanging out with you, and you have some broke ass tendencies. So in order
Right.
for us to keep hanging out, I'm going to make this change, right? And then I'll cite the change. I'm going to change this one thing. And if you change it too, then we can keep hanging out because now you're the average. Right? It's
Right.
nothing personal, but dude, I had no idea how much this average of 5 was influencing me. And then teach them. Did you know that it will affect your money? Did you know it will affect your health? Did you know it'll affect your attitude? Did you know that it'll affect your lifespan? Right? It'll even affect your schedules, right? Everything about the 5 people you spend the most time with is affecting you. It's affecting me. My relationships. So even the 5 people who have relationships with each 5 people. Did you know that if you have a friend who has a friend who has a friend that's fat, that's morbidly obese, right? Dangerously overweight. Your friend that has a friend that has a friend that's fat, because you have a friend that has a friend that has a friend that's fat, you are 10% more likely to be fat. And that's 3 people removed from you. So if your friend's friend is fat, it's 50%. And if your friend is fat, you're pretty much also headed towards being fat. Either you're headed towards being fat or he's headed more towards being fit. That's how it works. So when I would talk to my friends and be like, look, one of the things in the 5 people that I'm changing is I don't use the word can't at all. It is not allowed in my right. But then I started changing more things. I got a PMA is now a requirement. If you can't maintain a positive mental attitude all day, then you're not going to be one of the 5. So as I started planting this concept into my warm market's head, this average of the 5 people, it got easier for them to take on the next new rule or new change that I was making. But at the beginning, it was just this whole concept. I forgot that this is a new concept to people because it wasn't new to me.
Hey, Michael. Where's
What's up?
where does that concept of average of the 5 people come from?
I don't know who exactly started promoting it, but it's an idea that's been around since the at least the 60s, but probably longer than that.
I like it.
I mean,
I
it
think
goes back
it's
to all of
true.
our friends, our parents telling us, birds of a feather flock together, stay away from that kid, hang out with that kid, kind of thing. So they understood that. But this is even more, I'd say, exciting and frightening at the same time. Because if your friends don't have the kind of standards, or your friends' friends don't have the kind of standards, that it will influence them in a negative or positive way, which will influence you in a negative or positive way. So, you know what you could do? Let's get some more information on this. Check out the book, Influence. It's a book. It's an Audible, or you can go for a couple bucks. The book Influence will show you how to be the influence instead of be influenced.
Great. Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, you bet, man. And Mike, the other idea I wanted to share with you on talking to your friends is doing an if I would you arrangement. Each one's going to be different because they're, your friends all have their own different quirks and personalities. So for each one of them, you say, look, if I did this, would you make this change? And if they say no, we're going to be like, well, all right. Depends on the friend. But, dude, sometimes when my old friend said they're not going to change that one thing, or they're, I'm just going to be a cigarette smoker forever. All right, fine then. We're not hanging out because I don't want to do that shit. I'm done with it. I don't want to be around it. It's the same thing with being broke. I'm done. I'm done doing that. Tim, you're on for you. What's up?
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet, Mike. Tim, do you have a question? No?
Hey, Michael.
Wow. Sadler, what's up?
Hey, man. Just so I don't have to bug you on your vacation later, and so the people here in Utah get a clear understanding, can you share with me in just 2 sentences what you'll be training on at the Master the Sales Process event this Saturday in Utah?
2 sentences on our sales, the Master Sales event.
And specifically what you'll be training on. So I've been able to get the topics from the rest of the trainers, but I need yours.
My topic for the Master Sales event in the next couple weeks here in Utah.
This Saturday.
This Saturday is going to be on closing conversations. Closing conversations that create excitement and momentum, because we can have closing conversations that are the opposite of momentum and excitement, that they could be terrifying and disempowering. So these closing conversations are the difference between going through the technical steps of closing a sale versus using Renatus' system and inspiring production and duplication, whether it's real estate or marketing. So I think that was a compound sentence with many semicolons.
That was perfect. I love it. Thank you, Michael.
Okay, by the way, if you're in Utah, get registered and invite guests to this event, because if they see how we're putting our sales together and they see how easy it is, and then they see $10,000 commissions, then they're going to go, oh, I just need to buy a combo and I could do this. Exactly, buy your combo. What's your credit card number? Get registered. Okay, I'm just getting caught up on these chats real here. Shelly Reeder, day 18 of easy breathing. That's what I'm talking about. Good job, Shelly. You're a badass. Okay, Ben knows about the book. Get it going. That's right. That's right. Okay, guys. Have a wonderful Wealth Wednesday. Okay, for us here in the Denver team, we got a special guest flying in. One of the top performers from the Utah market flying in. He's going to handle the meeting tonight. Going to teach your guests why they need to get a combo from you. And as we're getting that organized, keep that energy up. We got our cash flow coming up this Saturday, like Ron went over this morning. So freaking exciting. Okay, I'm going to go in a maze. There's a garden maze. Bushes, hedges, and stuff all carved out. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be fun. So I'm going to go do that. You guys kick ass, take names, follow up like you mean it, and we'll talk to you soon.